morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Let us start.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Remember, we have been learning Chapter 2, Physical Features of India. And today we shall discuss about the third physical division of India, that is the Peninsular Plateau. Now I shall share my screen. So this is the third physiographic division, the Peninsular Plateau. Let us read. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. Okay, plateau, you know, all of you have known plateau. So it looks like a tableland, a flat top, as you see here. So it is a flat top highland in this way. Okay, so this is what I call a plateau or tableland. So Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of old crystalline, means very hard, igneous and metamorphic rocks. And what are igneous rocks, what are metamorphic rocks, we have learned earlier, but let me show you one photograph. Okay, so this photograph shows igneous rocks. Okay, so these are the different types of igneous rocks like basalt, andesite, granite. And we have another photograph showing these examples of metamorphic rocks: gneiss, slate, quartzite, schist, marble, etc. So these are the different metamorphic rocks. So Peninsular Plateau was formed due to wrecking and drifting of the Gondwana land, thus making it a part of the oldest landmass. Remember, the Peninsular Plateau was formed due to the breaking and the drifting of the Gondwana land. What does it mean? Okay, I will show you one diagram here. So actually, we have a theory in geography known as continental drift theory. Okay, so it was propounded by a German geologist known as Alfred Wegener. Okay, and according to him, all the continents of the world, okay, we are together at one place, as in this way, just as you are seeing here. Okay, as you are seeing here, all the continents of the world were at one point. That means there was only one big continent about 225 million years ago, and the name of the supercontinent was known as Pangaea. And this continent was surrounded by an ocean known as Panthalassa. So this is the ocean, okay, surrounding the Pangaea, the supercontinent. And because of the movement, okay, in the interior of the earth, this supercontinent known as Pangaea was broken at many places and thus moving to different directions in this way. Okay, some are moving in some towards the north, some towards the west, some towards the east, like this. Okay, see, this is India. So this is about 150 million years before present, and this is about the condition, the location of the continents about 100 million years ago. See, North America is here, South America is here, and it is not connected. Africa is here, and India was south of the equator. Australia is here, and now, okay, Earth today, see, now we have these positions of the continents in the world. See here, Africa is here, India is here, Asia is here, Australia is here. Okay, so in this way all the continents of the world were drifted in different directions, thus forming the present continents. See, when the Pangea was broken here roughly along the equator, okay, we have got two land masses. So here we have the equator. The lane north of the equator was known as Laurasia, and the lane south of the equator was known as Gondwana lane. So this part was known as Gondwana lane, and India is here. Okay, and the Indian peninsula is a part of the Gondwana lane as mentioned here, thus forming one of the oldest land masses, okay, in the world. So in this way the Peninsular Plateau was formed. So any question, boys and girls? Any question? Remember, about 225 to 250 million years before present, there was only one continent known as Pangea. And about 150 million years ago, the Pangea was broken into two pieces. Okay, the one north of the equator was known as Laurasia. The lane south of the equator was known as Gondwana lane. And as you see, location of India is here, and India was a part of the Gondwana lane. Okay, and now India is here. So it means that Indian plateau, the Peninsular Plateau, India is one of the oldest land masses in the world. Okay, and the plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. The Peninsular Plateau has broad, shallow valleys and rounded hills. Since it is very old one, so see here, the river valleys are shallow like this. So this is the cross section of the river, and the hills also rounded, okay, not pointed. Hills also rounded like this, and river valleys, okay, just see here, hills here rounded, and the river valleys also shallow and broad in this way. And this plateau consists of two broad divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. Okay, so this Peninsular Plateau is divided into two broad divisions, Central Highlands in the north and north of Narmada River. See here. Here Narmada River is here. Okay, Narmada River is here, and the lane, the plateau north of the Narmada River here, this section is known as Central Highland, and this plateau south of Narmada River here is known as the Peninsular Plateau. Okay, this plateau south of Narmada River is known as Deccan Plateau. Just see here, this land, the plateau south of Narmada River is known as Deccan Plateau, and the north of it is known as Central Highland. Central Highland. Okay, and this, after that, you must know that the Central Highland, okay, just let us come to the map. The Central Highland is again divided into three divisions here in this way. Okay, the section west to the west is known as the Malwa Plateau, and the section east of the Central Highland is known as the Sultanapur Plateau, and the middle one is known as the Bundelkhand or Baghelkhand. Okay, again let me tell you, the Central Highland is divided into three subdivisions. The western part of the plateau is known as Malwa Plateau. Okay, and the easternmost part is known as the Sotanapu Plateau, and the middle section is known as the Bundelkhand or Baghelkhand. So these are the divisions of the Central Highland. Okay, and you will find that the Aravallis, okay, Aravallis mountains lie on the northwest, as you see here. Here we have Aravalli mountain ranges. This is also one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. It's a part of the plateau. And here we have another mountain range, very old one. This is known as Satpura Range. Okay, Satpura Range lies between the Narmada River and the Tapti River. And other rivers, as mentioned in our book, okay, in this region we find rivers flowing Chambal, then Seen, Betwa, Kane, from southwest to northeast, indicating the slope. Okay, that means you know the direction of rivers, so the direction of the slope. Okay, that means the slope here in this part is from southwest to northeast. From southwest to northeast. Okay, from southwest to northeast. Let's see here in this way. Let's see here. Let me use another color. From southwest to northeast. You know the direction. Okay, here this is north, this is south, east, west. Okay, and this is southwest, and this is northeast. Okay, so direction slope is from southwest to northeast here in this part. And about the location of the rivers, let's see here. So this is the drainage map of India. Okay, Chambal River is here, Betwa River, Kane, Son are flowing somewhere here. Okay, if you look at the map, okay, alas, then you will find the same. Okay, and the Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of Narmada River, as we have discussed. And the Satpura Range flanks to its broad base in the north, while Mahadev, Kaimur Hills, and Maikal Range form its eastern extensions. That I have already told you that, okay, the Deccan Plateau lies south of Narmada River. Just see the diagram. Okay, just see here. Here we have the Narmada River, and as I told you, this section south of Narmada River is known as the Deccan Plateau. Okay, and the Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastward. So if you cut here, for example, if you cut here, just Deccan Plateau is here, and if we cut along this line, okay, so the slope is like this. The slope is like this. It is like this. It is sloping from the west towards the east. Okay, and an extension of the plateau is also visible in the northeast, locally known as Meghalaya Karvi Anglong Plateau and North Kasar Hills, and it is separated by a fault from Sotanapur Plateau. Okay, and And the three prominent hill ranges to the east are the Garo, the Khasi, and the Zenti hills. So here, let us see this section. Okay, this section, what I call Meghalaya Plateau, Karbi Anglong Plateau. Okay, this section is also a plateau, and this plateau was once part of the Peninsular Plateau. You must know that. Okay, Meghalaya Plateau, also known as the Shillong Plateau, was once a part of the Peninsular Plateau. What happened was that, see, here in this area, okay, just let us cut this section. So in this area, there was a subsidence, as you see here. Faulting. I think I have told you the faulting process. For example, these are the different layers, okay, of the crush. So this is one formation. It was formed during a particular geologic period. This is another formation, and this is another formation, a layer that was formed during a particular period of time. So due to tensional forces, so one force is going to this side, another force is going to this side. That means two forces are moving away from a fixed point, and because of these tensional forces, this area was subsided. Okay, in this way. So see here, subsided in this way. Okay, see, this is the first layer, the first formation, and this is the second, this is the third. So in this way. Okay, see, here we have the first formation. First formation is coming down here, the second one is here, the second one comes here, and this process, as I told you, is known as what? Is known as, can you tell me? Is known as faulting. This process is known as faulting, and because of faulting of this area, this Bangladesh area, okay, West Bengal and the Bangladesh area, the Shillong Plateau or the Meghalaya Plateau was separated from the Peninsular Plateau because of this process. So this side becomes the Shillong Plateau, Meghalaya Plateau, and this side becomes the Chotanagpur Plateau area. And this is the Bangladesh area, West Bengal and Bangladesh area. And the name of the faulting here is known as Malda. Okay, Malda fault. The name of the faulting is known as Malda fault. And because of this faulting process, okay, the Meghalaya Plateau was separated from the Peninsular Plateau. So that is the point mentioned here. And this Shillong Plateau has many subdivisions. Okay, hill ranges, very old hill ranges are there from the west to the east, the Garo, the Khasi, and the Zenti hills, as you find here. Here we have the Garo in the middle, the Khasi, and Zentia. Karbi Anglong also somewhere here. Okay. So up to here, any question, boys and girls? Do you have any question?
Sir,
You don't have, right?
could you explain faulting again?
Folding. Okay, then so here. Actually, see, we, as you know, in the these lower classes, the art crush, okay, has also different formation. Actually, different thin layers are there, and in geography we call it a formation. Okay, each layer is known as a formation. Okay, formation. Actually, a formation is a thin layer which was formed during a particular geologic time. Okay, and generally we find the newest one on the top and the oldest one at the bottom. Okay, so this is a formation, and this is another formation. Okay, so I am just drawing it just for explanation. Okay, you need not to go in details. And we have two types of forces. One is compressional and another one is tensional. For the tensional force, the two forces are moving away from a particular point. This is known as tensional force. Okay, tensional force. Here let me tell you, another type of force is known as compressional, that lead to the formation of the this folded mountain. Okay, folded mountain, you know, folding. Last time I tell you about that. Okay, I told you about that folding, and now we shall discuss about the formation of folding. Tensional force. Due to tensional force, as I told you, this area could be subsided, as we find here. Okay, in this way. So this is the first one, and the second, then third. Okay, just see here. And because of this subsidence, the first formation comes here, and the second layer, the second layer here comes here. Actually, once this was the level of the land. Let us suppose this is the peninsular part. Okay, surface of the peninsular part. So after subsiding this area, this Bangladesh area, West Bengal Bangladesh area, this part becomes the Meghalaya Plateau, and this side becomes the Peninsular Plateau. Okay, and this process is known as faulting in geography, and the name of the fault, okay, the name of the fault is known as Malda fault. The name, okay. So for example, waterfall, for every waterfall also we have a name. Okay, like that, faulting is also named, and the name of the faulting is known as Malda fault. Okay, so it was subsided in this area. Just I have drawn you a line here, so I am drawing the cross section along this line. Okay, and this area was subsided. So in this way, the Meghalaya Plateau was separated from the this peninsular part of the plateau. So any question? Any other? Clear? Okay, let us continue. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. As you find, okay, here this Peninsular Plateau is marked, bordered by two hill ranges. This is known as Eastern Ghats, and this is known as what? Western Ghats. Okay, as you see here, see, this is the peninsular part, and say this is the Western Ghat, and this is the Eastern Ghat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast, and they are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. So here we find the differences between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, again let us go to the map. See here, as you see here, the Western Ghat is continuous, whereas the Eastern Ghat is broken. See here, there is no hill ranges here, and here also it is broken, and here also we don't have. But here in the Western Ghat also it is there, but it is lesser in number, as you see here. Okay, the Western Ghat is continuous, and the Eastern Ghat is broken at many places due to the big rivers. because it has been cut by the big rivers. And another point of difference is that the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Their average elevation is 900 to 1,600 meters as against the 600 meters of the Eastern Ghats. Another point of difference is that the Western Ghat is higher than the Eastern Ghat. This is the Eastern Ghat, and what is the height? Here it is between 900 to 1,600 meter above the sea level, right, as mentioned here. And the Eastern Ghat is only about what is the height? 600 meter. Okay, 600 meter. That means the Western Ghat, here the Western Ghat is higher than the Eastern Ghat. Height also given here. And the Eastern Ghats stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri Hills in the south. Okay, and Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by the rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal, as you will find in the map here. So Eastern Ghats start from Mahanadi River. Mahanadi River is here. Okay, so it is starting from Mahanadi River and ends at the Nilgiri Hills. Nilgiri Hills is somewhere here. And as we have learned that it is broken at many places, it is discontinuous. So many rivers cut here. For example, Godavari River cuts here, then Krishna River cuts here, Kaveri River cuts here. And because of these rivers, the Eastern Ghats are broken at many places. So this is the main difference between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Again, let me repeat. The Western Ghats are continuous, whereas the Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, irregular and broken at many places because it is dissected by rivers. It is cut by many rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Another point of difference is that the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The height of the Western Ghat is between 900 and 1,600 meters, whereas the height of the Eastern Ghat is only 600 meters. Okay. The Western Ghats cause orographic rain by facing the rain-bearing winds to rise along the Western Ghats. Do you know what is orographic rain or orographic rainfall? Can anybody tell me what is orographic rainfall?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me tell you. Let us here. This is the Western Ghat. Okay, this is the Western Ghats, and this is the plateau. And here we have the Arabian Sea. So this is Arabian Sea. I am drawing the cross section. Okay, this is the Arabian Sea. And what is this? This is the Western Ghats. Western Ghats. Okay, and here we have the plateau. And see, from the Arabian Sea, rain-bearing wind blows towards the from the Arabian Sea, rain-bearing wind blows towards the Western Ghats is in this way. And this rain-bearing wind is forced to rise upwards. Okay, is forced to rise upwards due to the Western Ghats. You know, when air is forced to rise upward, it is cooled down. You must know that when the wind or air, a parcel of air, is forced to rise upwards up the slope of a mountain, then the air is cooled down, and because of that, clouds will be formed. Here, clouds will be formed, and there will be rainfall on this windward side. And this is such type of rainfall is known as what? Such type of rainfall is known as orographic rain or rainfall. Okay, the rainfall which is caused by obstruction by a mountain is known as orographic rainfall, and the wind after crossing the Western Ghat again is descending, okay, is going down, is moving down. And you must know that when the air is moving downwards, when the air descends, then again it is heated, it is warm up due to adiabatic heating. And because of that, this side in here there will be little rainfall or no rainfall, and hence this area is known as what? This area is known as rain shadow, okay, rain shadow area. Remember, this side of the mountain is known as what? Leeward side. This is known as leeward side. And what is the other side? This side is known as what? Windward, okay, windward side. So this is how orographic rainfall is taken place. Any question? Are you clear?
No, sir.
Okay, then you must know that the Western Ghats are known by different local names. Actually, different names are there, like Sahyadris, okay, as you will find here, okay, different names you'll find here. Sahyadris, this is another name of Western Ghats. Then so many other names are there, you may find it, okay. And the height of the Western Ghat progressively increases from north to south. So height of the Western Ghat increases from north to south. The height increases towards the south, and that is why here we find the highest peak of the Peninsular Plateau, as you find here, Anaimudi. Okay, the height is 2,695 meters, and the Dodabeta 2,630 meters. So these are the high peaks of the Peninsular Plateau, but you must know that Anaimudi is the highest peak in the Peninsular Plateau, and whereas the Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghat. The height of the Mahendragiri is 1,501. Just see here, Anaimudi is here, okay, Anaimudi is here, Anaimudi is here. Okay, the exact location is here. Anaimudi is here. Height is also given, and Mahendragiri is here. Exact location of Mahendragiri is here. Okay, Mahendragiri is the highest peak of the Eastern Ghats, and Anaimudi is not only the highest peak of the Western Ghat, but also the highest peak of the Peninsular Plateau. Okay. And likewise, so many other hills like Sebroi Hills, Zabadi Hills, you'll find in the Eastern Ghats. And so here at the meeting point of the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats, you will find the famous hill station known as Udagamandalam. It is also known as Uti and Kodai Canal. Okay, all these you will find here at this particular point. Then one of the distinct features of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Trap. So this is a very important characteristic feature of the Peninsular Plateau. Here in this area, in the Deccan area, we find black lava soil. Okay, it is also known as Deccan Trap. And this Deccan Trap is of volcanic origin, and hence the rocks are igneous. Actually, these rocks have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. Okay, so here let me tell you, here actually when the Himalayan mountains were uplifted during the Tertiary period, that is between 65 to 75 million years before present, at that time here in the Deccan Plateau, there were huge cracks. Okay, so many long cracks were there in the Deccan Plateau, and the lava, okay, lava was rising up from the earth interior. You know lava, the hot molten material from the earth interior, okay, was rising upwards and spreading in different direction, just spreading whole this area. It was known as fissure eruption. Okay, So through these cracks, lava was oozing out and spreading the whole this area, covering the whole this Peninsular Plateau by the lava flows. And after cooling down this lava flow, then the black soils were developed. But now, due to erosion process, in some areas here, in some areas you may not find black soils, but most of the Deccan Plateau is covered with a thick layer of the black soils, and this area is known as Decon Trap. Okay. Aravalli Hills lies on the western and northwestern margins of the Peninsular Plateau, and Aravalli Hills, as I told you, one of the oldest hill ranges in the world, is a highly eroded hill and are found as a broken hills. And they extend from Gujarat to Delhi in the in the southwest to northeast direction. I think I have also already located Aravalli Range is here. Okay, Aravalli Range is here. It is running, okay, northeast to southwest, one of the oldest, and this is a part of the Peninsular Plateau. Okay, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my
Thank you,
class.
sir.
Don't forget to send
Thank you,
your
sir.
names in the WhatsApp group for attendance. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye, sir.